This follows, and I would say pretty close to. It's the closest I've come to fisticuffs in a good few months. And I had some smart ass telling me why Rick was arrested. Okay. This dipshit did not know Rick. I know that because the details he'd given me have nothing to do with where I happen to know where Rick was at the time because I was there too. So he was just making this stuff up as far as I can tell. I don't have anything against him doing that. That's the kind of thing Rick himself would have done. But don't tell me why Rick was arrested because admittedly, I wasn't there. It was a U.S. Navy ship. I obviously couldn't have been there. There's some people in the Navy who probably were there and can relay what happened. But don't make up a bunch of stuff and claim that it's reality just because I wasn't there. I know where Rick was right before that. And I know what his plan was and why he was involved in all of that nonsense. So when this guy's coming up to me and he's telling me, honestly, I think he just wanted to be argumentative. I think he was just looking for something to argue about this guy. Regardless, the words he said when he was arrested, I actually wrote them down. I remembered them pretty clearly for a minute. I'm not even sure I could remember them now, and I put them on my Facebook account. It was something like, I can look it up right now. Oh, God, I got to log into Facebook. Oh, wait, maybe not. I'm just not good at Facebook. This is hard. I don't know how to run it. I don't know how to run Facebook. I know it seems really easy for people who do it all the time, but here we go. I found it. Okay. This is what he said right after he was arrested. Now, the story I heard is that he was in handcuffs, arms behind his back. He was standing on the bridge because I think that's where they brought him. And I think they were asking him everything that went down, which has now become somewhat famous. And he said, the only way to do something truly great is to know that it will fail eventually and then do it anyway. And then do it anyway. The only way to do something truly great is to know that it will fail eventually and then do it anyway. That's what he said right after he was arrested, standing on the bridge. I don't know what went down after that. And like I said, I've heard the stories, and I'm sure some people watching this may have even been there, and you can fill in the details. But you don't do what he you don't do what he does. You don't do what he did on a U.S. Navy aircraft carrier, because there has to be a certain amount of respect and a certain amount of reverence for what the people on that ship are doing, what their job is. And that's somewhat of the irony, is that from other people I've heard, and there's nobody angry about him doing that, but he got arrested. And then his whole life changed after that, because you don't get arrested in that way and continue on doing the same things that you've been doing, continue doing the same things you've been doing, continue to make the same mistakes you've been making, continuing to get into the same mischief that he'd been getting into. And that fixes that. So you'll know if you're hearing the right story because you'll just know. You can't fake or embellish what happened in his life. It's like listening to like a concerto done by a string quartet or something like that. Anytime you try to copy it or reproduce it or make it better, it'll just make it worse. The stories that you hear about him that are true are the ones that sound true. And the ones that sound slightly less than awesome are not true.